My name is Dean Hildebrand, and I operate Thousand Hills Ranch here south of Morden with my wife Tina. And we raise Black Angus cattle. We have a cow-calf operation, and we keep most of our animals back from calving, and we try to finish all of our home calves that we have on grass. So we start calving in May, and we try to do it on grass, on pasture, and then we wean the calves usually late. This year we did them earlier in December, but usually we like to keep them with the cows all winter. But this year we did a little bit later, earlier, and in late December. And so then after that we'll put the calves back out on pasture. We feed them hay all winter, and put them back out on pasture for the summer. And in the fall we will decide how many animals we want to keep back for grass finishing. We generally calve out about 60 cows, so right now we're keeping back about a third of the animals to finish on grass, and the rest of the animals, we'll keep a few heifers back for breeding, and then the other animals we sell as yearlings. They just mainly go into in the auction mart system. So we farm mainly organic. We're not certified, but we use organic practices here, and so all our animals are raised that way. The ones that we sell for the grass-fed beef operation, so they're generally 2 years old by the time we sell the animals, and then we will butcher them throughout the next year when they're about 2 years old, and we sell through the farmers market and just off our farm, and also through local buying club. And we do halves plus sell all the cuts of meat too. So, and we have planted a lot of shelter belts on our property over the years. I've been farming together with my dad here or started with my dad over 30 years ago, and then back in 1987 we started planting shelter belts. I kind of saw the need to have more shelter on our fields, and for trapping snow, and also for the wind in the summer. And so we planted over about 3 or 4 year period, I guess. We planted several miles of shelter belts, and including the PFRA came and did a test site at our place with Siberian larch trees. So they came and planted them for us, and then they came back every 5 years to do measurements on the trees and see how they're doing. And so that was started in 1990. So they've done very well, those trees. And then we also at the same time planted a bunch of spruce trees on the same property. And so I've been using that area lately for a lot of wintering or cow herd, and using those shelter belts for the shelter. And I'm presently rolling out all the hay for the cattle right now in the winter time. It's winter feeding. Eventually I'd like to go to bale grazing once we can get more hay put up and secure better hay, enough hay to use for the whole winter. And that, like this year we're running short, so I've decided not to try it this year, just to try and stretch out the hay. And so all our other shelter belts are mostly green ash, and some problems that we've probably encountered over the years with the shelter belts is just the establishment. It takes a lot of work, keeping them clean and things like that. So, but generally after the first few years, once they're well on the way, then it's been a lot less maintenance, except we have had some problems with some ice storms. When the ice gets too thick on the branches, we've had some of the tree branches breaking off, so it's been a bit of work at times to get them cleaned up. But otherwise, they've done very well over the years. And we took a break from planting trees, but then started up again about 2 years ago, and planted a multi-row. We had a big 60-acre field, and we planted a multi-row, 3 rows down part of the field, and then in the middle of the field we planted a block planting of trees. And we used quite a variety of different trees, some hardwoods, some poplars, and a lot of spruce and larch and pine. And so I'm hoping for the future to use that area once the trees grow up for wintering cattle, like so I can spread the manure around to different fields, and so I can use this area plus other areas where we have shelter belts. And we have watering sites on all these areas, and with most, like there, 2 of the areas, the home quarter we have a winter waterer, energy-free system with a mining tire, and I've now set them up on 2 other quarters also. So I've got water systems set up on all of our quarters of land, and where I can eventually winter them in different areas. And I'm hoping to try and keep the calves with the cows throughout the year, even with bale grazing. And I've heard of one producer that's been doing even keeping his 2-year-old, like the long yearlings, with the animals too, for his grass finishing. So I might even try doing something like that too, to keep the whole herd together for easier management. So I found that using the shelter belts, I find it easier using shelter belts and natural tree areas for wintering cattle better than using windbreaks, portable windbreaks, just for the fact that you have to get out and move the windbreaks all the time. That's not a job I like doing, so a lot of times it doesn't get done as often as it should. But the trees have been very good to have around, probably just to slow the wind and the snow down, and just having shelter for the cattle. And I think that's probably all I have to say about that. So I'd like to welcome anybody that would like to come out to look at our operation and see our trees and cattle. Be welcome to do so.